Have you ever wondered why chaos seems to increase from year to year? Why there's so much divisiveness in the world today? Today, I want to talk about cycles that are affecting us today. And the material comes from a book called Zero Hour by Harry Dent. And so, let's see here. What we're going to cover today is three of the major cycles. In the book, there are many cycles. I just don't have time to cover it. But I'm going to cover the three major cycles that are affecting us today. And these are powerful cycles. They're affecting current events, and they're well documented through history. So we can go back and trace how these cycles came to be. The first one that we're going to talk about is a 28-year financial cycle. And this cycle bottoms in 2017. It also bottomed back in 1933, which was just into the Great Depression. Some of these cycles will recur and have different things in the past history. The next one we're going to talk about is a 84-year populist movement cycle. And this one started with the American Revolution in 1765. There was European revolutions in 1849. There was Hitler and the Great Depression in 1933. And in 2017, Trump was elected and Brexit was going strong. Brexit, of course, being the British exit of the European Union. The next one we're going to talk about is a 250-year revolution cycle. And this also goes back to the American Revolution. And 250 years before that, there was the Protestant Reformation in the early 1500s. And this current revolution time period from 2008 to 2023. So we're right in the middle of that, and then you can combine these cycles, and I'll show you one chart. This is going to look backward. The writing's going to be backward, but you can see the basic chart and how they all line up in the current period. So let me just hold this up and see if you can see do it this way. There we go. You can see how the charts add together, and I apologize for the words being backwards. I've been having some technical difficulties, so I cannot present this online. We'll just have to make do with the papers today. I will attach a link at the bottom so that you can get my full presentation if you're interested in cycles at all. We know from cycles that when two or more cycles bottom at the same time, the effect is multiplied. So when you have a financial cycle, the populist movement cycle, and the revolutionary cycle coming together, you can bet that it's going to be a powerful effect. But we can also see that it's going to be a powerful effect by looking at the size of the bubbles that precede the downturn. Now, the size of the preceding bubbles in terms of debt, right now we're at all-time world record heights on debt. Stock prices are at world record heights on many stock markets, not only in the U.S. but across Europe and Asia as well. And also we can see that housing prices are at all-time highs, and there's some indication that there's a bubble there. So what we see in this current period, with three major cycles coming to a bottom in the same time period, that this period could produce a deep recession or even a deflationary depression, similar or maybe even larger than the one in 1930s. So I'm saying all this just to convince you that the world economy is not something that we can rely on. And if you're retired with pensions and Social Security, I would like to tell you that those streams of income are not the most secure in the world. And in this next economic downturn, they could be at high risk. So we need our own economy. And in order to do that, you have to build your own economy. Nobody's going to do it for you. Nobody's responsible for your economy except you. And so we're gonna look at ways to build that in future videos. And you have to start out with finding what your purpose is. If you know what your why is, and your why is great enough, you can accomplish anything. And so we're gonna take a little time to try to figure out what our purpose and our why is, and then we're gonna figure out what it is that we really love to do, because there's probably a way to earn income from what you love to do. If you love to teach, there's all kinds of teaching. You can do teaching online, or you can do teaching out of your home, or in a lot of different ways. And other skills that you may have also lead to streams of income. So do what you love, find out what your why is, and then develop multiple streams of income so that if any one of them fails, you'll still be in good shape. So in a future video, I'm going to talk about similar analysis that's been done with the stock market. Stock markets are cyclical, as many people know, and that after long-term of expansion, there's often a sudden downturn and sometimes a crash. So we'll look at that, and we'll also look at some other studies that have been done that lead to similar conclusions that this next period, the 2020s, might not be as stable and set as we would like them to be. So anyway, stay tuned for that. Subscribe to the channel, click on the bell, and I will notify you of the next video. I'm going to put a couple links down below. One will be to the book 0 Hour. If you're interested in picking that book up, it's got a ton more information than we had time to cover in this little video. And also, I'll put a link down below of one way that I'm using to build multiple streams of income. So if you're interested in that, take a look at that. I'll also put a link to the nice presentation that I had prepared that I was not able to deliver very smoothly. I want to thank you for staying with me through the whole thing. And you can see from this that I'm a real person. I make mistakes like everybody else, certainly not perfect at any means. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video. Thanks.